Okay. Hello everyone. This video will be all about Hina, the basics of Hina. This will be one of 8 videos. The next 8 videos are going to be introductions into the characters of Yatagarasu, just so you have a basic amount of information about their special moves, some of their properties, some of the normals you need to know about, and some combos and such. These videos are not designed to teach you everything you need to know to play the character or to give you matchup advice or anything like that, but just to give you the bare bones basics so that you can start to play the character at a proficient level. Okay, first video is going to be on Hina. Third time's the charm, right guys? Now, Hina has 4 special moves and 2 supers. 3 of those special moves are accomplished with charge, and I'll get to those after I do her first special move. Her first special move is this, which I like to nickname the Overslice. This has a chicken wing motion. If you're not familiar with what a chicken wing motion is it's from down back to down forward to up forward, okay? But this has to be done quickly, and you have to hit the punch before you leave the ground on up forward. Because if you hit the punch too late, you just get a jumping light punch. There we go. This doesn't require charge, you can just do this from neutral. But I like to call it the Overslice because it is an overhead. If your opponent is crouching, this is going to hit. Now if they do block this, you actually have frame advantage on block on 2 of the 3 versions. Let me just go ahead and set that up here. Okay, on the light punch version, notice the purple-haired one is a little bit lower. She jumped first, so frame advantage for the aggressor. Hard punch version, notice her feet are a little lower, still frame advantage. The EX version, though, does not give the frame advantage. It's just a slightly negative. Now the EX version, though, does go a little bit further and is notable because it can go over and through projectiles. So against Crow and Co, this will be a useful move if they like to use projectiles too much. Now this is super cancelable, all 3 versions of the special move. What that means is the recovery of the special can go straight into a super, and on hit this enables you to combo. Okay. You can combo either Super 1 or Super 2 from the Light Punch or the Hard Punch versions. However, the EX version, even if you Super Cancel, it does not combo into Super 2. You have to go into Super 1 for that one. Okay, but it's a nice little overhead that you can use, and if it does hit and you don't have Super, if you did use the Light Punch version, you can actually combo a crouching light punch after it hits. There it is. 2-hit combo. This is very, very difficult. I believe this is a 1-frame link. So you only have 1/60th of a second where this will actually combo, but you can get a crouching light punch after the light punch version of the Overslice. And if you are perfect, you can go into a super off of that if you want. But I'm not perfect, you'll just have to believe me. There we go. Whew, that's pretty difficult. So that's her first special move. Now she has 3 different charge moves. One of them is charge down, then hit up in a punch. Whoops. If you're familiar with Guile's flash kick, this is very similar, except it's a punch. This is fully invincible all the way through. So you can use this on Wake Up as a reversal move. I have seen the Light Punch version trade with a low from time to time, but it's very difficult to replicate in training mode. I would just say it's pretty much fully invincible, but I can't say that with 100% complete conscience because I have seen it trade from time to time with a low, so just keep that in mind. For the most part, though, you can use any of these 3 versions as a reliable reversal if your opponent gets in your face too much. Let's see. Let me see here. It's also a good anti-air, but just keep in mind this game does have parries, so if you're too predictable with your anti-airs, I mean, just generally speaking in this game, you can't use the same anti-airs all the time because then you're opening yourself up to getting air parried. So you have to be careful with anti-airing with a move like this that has a really, really big recovery time. Now, she also has two different charge moves done by charging back. One is hit forward and a punch. The other is forward and a kick. So let's start with the punch move. It's just a running slash. If you do the hard punch version, she'll run all the way across the screen. The light punch version has a set distance and doesn't really go very far. Now, the light punch version actually does a little bit more damage, but the hard punch and the EX versions have a follow-up slash. You cannot do this follow-up on the light punch version, but this follow-up is done by inputting a dragon punch motion, and this will work on hit or on block, but on block it's terrible. Again, only the hard punch and EX versions of the back-forward punch actually have this follow-up. And you can combo a super afterwards, too. Now, all three versions and the follow-ups are minus on block. In fact, the follow-ups are really terrible on block. So it's not exactly the move you can abuse, but especially with the light punch version, you can space it very well to where you're still in range for some of your stuff, but they're out of range of some of their stuff. This is a good way for you to be passive-aggressive with this character. Using the light slash at a very particular range is a very strong basic tactic for Hina. And all of the hits and all the follow-ups can be super cancelled. And the hard punch version. And the follow-up. You can super cancel that one. You can super cancel the EX version as well, but because that causes a juggle, that's not going to hit. You can just wait for them to come down. And that will still combo there. The EX version of the running slash, it pops the opponent up for a juggle. So it's possible that you can do some more stuff with that. So, it's mostly used in combos, but you can also just use it to really, really quickly attack your opponent. Now, if you charge back and hit forward and a kick button, this is a low, but it has a very nice reach to it. It reaches about half the screen. This is a low. They have to block it low, otherwise they do get knocked up into the air. The light kick and the hard kick versions do the same amount of damage. Just the hard kick version, just like with the punch move, allows you to run across the screen before you do it. And all three versions of this are very bad on block and generally are going to get you punished. Now, what makes the EX version of this move a little bit distinct is it pops up into the air for a juggle state, and you could, say, go for a mix-up or something off of it, but also, it can be cancelled on hit or on block into the overslice special move for a quick little combo. This does work on block, so if they block the low, you could, you know, go for the overslice, and if they're not expecting it, that can hit them in the face. But this enables one of the cooler looking combos in the game. If you do the EX version of this and you cancel it to the EX overslice, you get a ground bounce and you can actually continue the combo from there with 3 additional juggles. Bad execution, let's try again. Bad execution, let's see, 3rd time's charm. Shabam! So after the EX version, you can get 4 additional overslices on top of that for some pretty chunky damage. I'm better to the left. But I would recommend you do 3 overslices, and then you could do like a jumping normal into an air reset, and then you could go for a mix-up or something like that. Let's see. So that's all her special moves. Again, down charge into up punch, back charge into forward punch, and back charge into forward kick. Looking at her supers, one of her supers is quarter punch. It starts up pretty fast and it's good for whiff punishing. However, this has no invincibility on it whatsoever. So if you use it on wake up, you're gonna get stuffed. It doesn't really do a whole lot. It's pretty much used as a combo ender in particular combos. It doesn't really see much use beyond that. Now if you hit quarter and hit a kick button, you get this super. It actually hits high, low, high, low, high. So if your opponent is stand guarding, they're gonna get hit. your opponent needs to block low in order to block all the hits of the super. But this super actually has full invincibility, and it can go through fireballs in the mid-range. So Hina, with this move, and with her kick super, can effectively punish people that throw too many fireballs in the mid-range. So it makes her pretty good if you're playing against a Crow or a Ko that throws too many fireballs. That's all the specials and supers that you really need to know about. Now I'm going to go over a couple of her normals which are notable. She has a command normal, which is back plus hard kick. You have to hold back and you hit hard kick. This moves her forward, which is useful because as a charge character you can do this while maintaining your charge. It's not cancelable into anything on its own, but the neutral hard kick is, but that's different from the back hard kick. That's different. Let's see here, but back hard kick is a pretty good normal to use in the mid-range. Good damage, good range. Another of her notable normals is her crouching hard punch, which by itself pops up for a juggle state. I like to follow it up with a kick slash for just a quick simple combo. You can't, even though this pops up for a juggle state, you might think, does that enable some sort of big fat ass combo? The answer is no. There's not really a whole lot you can get off of it unless you want to blow a lot of meter, and even then, she has better damage options for that amount of meter. I generally don't use the crouching hard punch too much in her combos. Even if I land a raw jump in, there are some better options than to use her crouching hard punch, but it is notable in case you want to anti-air with it that you do cause a juggle state. Her crouching light kick is notable because it's probably her best normal overall. It's frame advantage on block. It's cancelable. You can go into a lot of her stuff from the crouching light kick. You can chain it to itself and do many of the same combos. You could just go straight into a super if you had good execution, like that. So crouching light kick is going to be your main workhorse with this character for doing most of your combos and pressure strings and such. Her crouching light punch is notable also because it reaches further than the crouching light kick, and it is super cancelable, but only super cancelable. You cannot cancel her crouching light punch into special moves, but you can cancel it into the supers, notably the kick super. So you could do this example for a combo. Because of the extra range, this enables you to have a 3-hit confirm, but you can only go into a super off of that. Okay. That's all the basic stuff. Now I just want to give you some example combos. Now the first example I'm going to give with these characters is actually what you get if you land a universal guard break. So let's say your opponent is blocking your stuff and you actually land one of these. If you're at very close range, there's obviously lots of things you can do off of it. If you're at close range, if you're at close range, there's a lot you can get off of it, but you're more likely to land universal guard breaks at range, like at near the tip. So I'm going to be going over which combos you can get if you hit with this near the tip. And with Hina, the only thing you can get at the very, very tip is the punch version of the super. There's nothing they can do about that. That is actually going to guarantee. It's going to be guaranteed. If you're a little bit closer, though, you know what? Never mind. That's not true. You can't get the kick super off of that. Not with Hina, anyway. But basically, Super 1 is going to be your go-to unless you are very, very close, in which case there's a few other things you can go for. If you land a universal overhead with Hina, this is one of the things that makes her unique. Under normal circumstances, most characters can only combo off of a universal overhead if the opponent is crouching. Hina is one of those two exceptions. And even if your opponent is standing or crouching, she gets the same combos. Okay, it's very, very difficult to do, but let's see, auto guard after one hit. If you have very, very good timing, it's possible to link a crouching light kick after her universal overhead, whether this hits standing or crouching. And then you can go into you can go into any bread and butter combo that involves a crouching light kick up from there. One more time. One more time. One more time. There we go. 3 more times. Alright. So that's going to be a useful thing to learn if you do want to practice Hina, is being able to combo that crouching light kick off of the universal overhead. And keep in mind the combo will be easier if your opponent is crouching. But if that link is too hard for you, you can just straight up go right into her down charge special move, and that will combo off of a universal overhead. But the disadvantage is that you don't get additional hits to confirm it. But that does work. Just like that. Probably the basic combo that you're going to be using if you do land a crouching light kick is you can go into the hard punch version of the charge move and then get the follow-up, and that's a pretty basic combo. You can use the standing light kick instead of the crouching if you prefer. That is also cancelable and does many of the same things. Alternatively, you could just do 2 crouching light kicks while you're charging down and go right into the flash punch, flash sword special move, down charge up punch. Any version will work there. If you land crouching hard punch, personally I just go for the kick, the back forward kick special move. Unless you want to blow a lot of meter, you're not really going to get a whole lot of reward off it, so I don't bother, and I just go for this, and then I jump in for some more offense. Now, her crouching hard kick is cancelable, and it's actually a very, very good normal. This grants frame advantage even when you're point and blank, but it is cancelable and enables some of her best combos. So let's say you land a raw jumpin'. Let's say someone screws up and they just let you conk you in the face with a jumping hard kick. What's your highest damage combo that you can go for? It's going to be this one right here. Okay, you can land a crouching hard kick after the back forward EX kick move. There we go. But it's very, very timing tight. It's somewhat difficult. Then you can cancel that second crouching hard kick into the light version of the flash punch. And then after you land, you can super 1. And that's one of the highest damage combos that I can find with her. Let's see. The other thing you could do if you do land a crouching hard kick or just a raw jump in is using that EX overslice ground bounce I was talking about. Assuming I had my charge right. Here we go. Oop. Ah, darn it. Hopefully you get the idea. Again, do the EX version, then you can do 3 more overslices, then go for reset. The light overslice can miss there, and the hard punch version can be too slow. It doesn't matter if you use the light or the hard version, just don't do EX. You can alter the timing of your overslices if you're too early or late. This is a somewhat character specific. This works on every character, excuse me, but the timing of the overslices has to change slightly based on how big they are. There we go. That's a little example of a little mix-up that you can do with Hina. And the last combo I want to give you is, if you've been watching my previous videos, you'll know that you'll know about a mechanic called a BL counter. And frankly, BL countering someone in this game can give you some huge ass damage, and Hina does get a pretty good BL counter combo if you do BL counter with, say, a hard punch or a jumping hard kick or something, but you do need to have charge to properly take advantage of it. Okay, what you need to do is combo the back forward EX punch after the BL counter happens. And then, if you're within range, or if you do it right, you can then do the overslice times 3 bounce combo. And then, again, into a jumping light kick, into another mix-up. So her BL counter damage is a bit better than other characters, and she gets a nice little mix-up at the end, but you do need charge to take advantage. As long as you have an EX bar, you can take really good advantage of her BL counters, but without that, you could just go for a simple reset. But that's all I really want to cover with Hina. Not too much information, just specials and properties and some combos. Just 20 minutes, good. But I do want to summarize with just a statement of what your goal is with Hina. If you're playing as Hina, your goal is to bully your opponent at mid-range with effective with punishment. Her standing hard punch has nice reach. Her back hard kick has nice reach. Her light charge punch move, that quick sword slash, has nice reach and is very annoying. If your opponent is hesitant to throw things out in the mid-range because you're dominating that ground game, then you can close the distance and you can use your normals to take space away from your opponent, or go for very simple low throw overhead mix-ups, especially with the universal overhead. Hina has, as far as I can tell, probably the best universal overhead in the game as far as what she gets off of it. And so you want to make sure that when you're in the close range, you use lows and universal overheads to really set up your throw game and get good damage. But again, just to put it in one sentence, Hina's goal is to bully her opponent at mid-range with effective with punishment, and if the opponent is hesitant, close the distance and use normals to take space away from them so that you can go for simple mix-ups or make them want to come forward and hit more buttons. So that's Hina in a nutshell. I will be doing 7 more videos for the other characters. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this informational and useful, and I'll see you guys next time.